Hi, it's time for another episode of Jet Parody. I'm your host, Michael Ventura, and today we have two special contestants. Let's meet them. And here are our two contestants. On my left, we have Jared Walden. And on my right, we have Tulani Perspire. Tulani, you get to choose the first question. Where would you like to start?
I would like to start with poverty question 1.
Very well then. The question says,
how many people in sub-Saharan Africa are undernourished? A. 1 in 3, B. None, C. 1 in 4, or D. 2 in 4?
Is it A?
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
A is the correct response. 1 in 3 people that live in sub-Saharan Africa are undernourished. That is a staggering 30% of the population, which is around 239 million people, were hungry in the year 2010.
Yes!
Jared, you are now in control of the board. You pick the next question.
How about poverty question 2?
Very well then.
How much of the population in sub-Saharan Africa do not have access to electricity? A. 30%, B. 40%, C. 15%, or D. 80%?
Is it E?
I'm sorry, E is not a valid response.
What about B?
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, B is incorrect. The correct answer was D. 80% of the population in sub-Saharan Africa do not have access to electricity. That is approximately 547 million people without electricity. They instead have to use biomass products like wood and charcoal to power their homes. Alright, Tulani, you have command of our next pick. Where would you like to go?
Poverty question 3.
Very well then, here's the question.
How many people in Africa live in extreme poverty? How much do they make a day? A. 30% in poverty, making $3 a day. B. 48% in poverty, making $1.25 a day. Or C. 25% in poverty, making $5 an hour.
Is it A?
Is that your final answer?
Yes. Yes it is.
I'm sorry, you're incorrect. The correct response was B. 48%, almost half of the people that live in Africa make approximately $1.25 a day. To put that in perspective, that is $456.25 a year. People in North America make more than that working 3 hours a day for 15 days on minimum wage. Alright Jared, you are now in control of the board. Which category would you like to select?
How about what causes this?
What subcategory would you like to choose?
Poverty.
Very well. Here's the first question.
Name some things that have contributed to poverty in Africa.
Well, poverty is caused by corruption in the government, lack of resources in the region, limited jobs, and war.
Is that your final answer?
Yes, it's...
Well, you are correct. Bonnie, you now may choose the category. Where would you like to go?
Same category, same subcategory.
Alright, here's the question.
Name some more things that have contributed to poverty in Africa.
Outdated and poor infrastructures, roads and railways.
Alright Jared, you get to choose the next category.
How about what's been done to help?
Which subcategory?
Poverty.
Alright, here's the question. So Jared, what's being done to help?
Well, the World Bank and the IMF, they lent money to the African government to try and help, but because of their strict policies, it actually just put restraint on them. And it limited their spending, which affected their healthcare, education, infrastructure, everything.
Is that your final answer?
Yes, that's my final answer.
Well, you are correct. Okay, Tulani, you are in command of the board. Where would you like to go?
Child labor question 1.
Alright, here's the question.
The blank is a UN agency organization that deals with global issues. One of those global issues being child labor. A. International Labor Organization. B. Fair Labor Association. C. International Labor Rights and Funds. Or D. Socialist International.
Is it A?
Is that your final answer?
Yes, yes it is.
That is correct. A. The International Labor Organization. They work with improving international labor standards and decent work for all. Okay, Jared, you may select the next question.
How about child labor question 2?
Alright, here's the question.
The estimated amount of child laborers worldwide is A. 155,000, B. 374 million, C. 215 million, or D. 638,000.
C. 215 million.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, it is.
That is correct. 250 million is the amount of child laborers worldwide. Tulani, you can choose the next category. Where do you want to go?
What's being done to help? Subcategory child labor.
Bad choice.
Alright, here's the question. Jared, I remind you that if Tulani answers this question incorrectly, you may try and answer it correctly.
That's right.
The question reads, the ILO created a devised plan that is devoted to the elimination of child labor completely. That plan is called A. International Program on the Elimination of Child Labor, the IPEC. B. The International Initiative to End Child Labor, the IIECL. C. The Prevention and Response Against Worst Forms of Child Labor, the WFCL. Or D. Spreading Smiles Through Education Organization, the OSSE. Tulani, what is your answer?
I'd pick D.
Spreading Smiles Through Education Organization? Is
Yes.
that your final answer?
Yes it is.
I'm sorry, Tulani. You're incorrect. Now we ask Jared, what is your answer?
Thinking
Don't
A.
mess up.
Is that your final answer?
I think A is my final answer, yeah.
And that is correct. The International Program on the Elimination of Child Labor.
It's cold, okay?
Alright, Tulani, you get to pick the next category.
Oh, right, yeah, okay. What is being done to help? Subsection child labor?
Alright, here's the question. Tulani, what did the National Child Labor Committee do?
The National Child Labor Committee, with the help of a famous photographer, they took photos of children in unsafe work conditions, and then they spread posters around to promote the end of child labor.
That is correct. The famous photographer was Louis Hine. What is child labor?
Well, I would say it's some sort of work forced upon children that harms them or exploits them in some way.
And it would exploit them in an unsafe way, physically, mentally, or morally. Or an access to child education, of course.
You are both correct, so you will both receive 1 point for it. Unfortunately, folks, this game will have to end in a tie because we're out of time. But we'll see you next time on the next episode of Jeopardy!